Moving on to the U.S. now, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has been interviewed on Fox News for the first time, telling the network that her presidency will be different to Joe Biden's. Pushed on how she can pitch herself as the change candidate while part of the sitting government, Kamala Harris diverted to question her opponent Donald Trump's fitness for office. In the fiery exchange, the vice president was asked about an array of key election issues, including illegal border crossings and gender reassignment surgery for the U.S. prisoners. Earlier, Trump also appeared on Fox at an event with an all-female audience. He described himself as the father of IVF that Harris said was quite bizarre. Now, Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris made a direct appeal on Wednesday to Republican voters in this year's U.S. presidential election as she highlighted Republican support for her campaign before appearing on conservative-leaning Fox News. Harris has emphasized her challenger Donald Trump's attempt to overturn his election loss 4 years ago when he lost the White House to current President Joe Biden, saying the Democratic stakes of the election are high. Harris said Trump's actions violated the U.S. Constitution and if given the chance, he will violate it again.
I have sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution 6 times, including as Vice President, as a United States Senator, and as the top law enforcement officer of the largest state in our country. And I have never wavered from upholding that oath. And this is a profound difference between Donald Trump and me. He, who violated the oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and make no mistake, he who, if given the chance, will violate it again.
And to discuss more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent straight from California, Amritpal Singh. A very good morning to you, Amritpal from India. Now, how's the election campaign shaping up there in California, Amrit? Amrit, there seems to be some audio issue. Can you please come again with the answer while we fix the audio issue for that particular answer that we were talking about California election and the US election in particular?
Deepika, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible right now. Can you please come again with the answer?
Okay. So you asked me how the campaigning is going on. The parties are campaigning here in California, though none of the candidates have been here in the past 2 weeks because, generally what happens in U.S. politics is that the states are clearly divided. They're into blue states and red states. Red states are the states which traditionally vote for the Republicans. Blue states are the states which vote for the Democrats. California being a blue state, there are some swing states which vote either way, which could go, either way in different elections. So they, in a way, decide who the next president of the United States will be. So the candidates focus more on, those swing states because they are crucial to the outcome. California, it is understood by them that it will, go as a blue state because traditionally it's voted for them since I think the past 40 years. It's voted for the Democrats. Before that, it was a red state, but that's 40 years ago. So candidates tend to focus more there. But yes, of course, the parties is campaigning because, as you know, it's not just the presidential election. On the ballot is also the House. So basically, they are electing their new parliament as well. The House of Representatives. So, the House candidates are campaigning here. So they obviously belong to parties. So they're campaigning in a way for the president. So the parties really are contesting. Where I am in San Francisco, the city council also goes to vote. So on the ballot, you have the president, you have the House rep, and you have the city councilor. So, so in that sense, campaigning by parties on, but the candidates haven't come here in about 2 to 3 weeks in California.
Now, talking about the campaigning as well, Amrit, Kamala Harris in a recent interview said that her term is going to be different. What new or different is she proposing to woo the voters this time?
That was an interesting response by Kamala Harris in that really, sparring interview that Brett Baer took on Fox News. In fact, it was one of the toughest interviews that Kamala faced, and to be fair to her, she took the questions on the chin. I would see that more as a rhetoric. Let me, tell you what exactly she said. When asked that how she would be different from Biden's administration, she said, and I quote her, "Let me be very clear, my presidency would not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency, and like every president that comes to office, I will bring my life experiences and fresh new ideas." So, when pressed further, both the anchor and Kamala were sparring. It was an explosive interview and a really, really tough one for Kamala, given that she chose to come on a conservative channel like Fox News, and the fireworks were supposed to fly there, and that's what's happened. That was standard fare. But, when pressed that how would you be different? And she said, well, I bring in my experiences, and I'm not a Washington person. I have not, my politics hasn't been around Washington, D.C. I have worked, I'm an outsider, really. So therefore, I bring in fresh ideas. Basically, she was trying to, lay off the anti-incumbency of Joe Biden, saying that I bring in a fresh new energy and ideas if I come as president.
All right. Thank you so much, Amrit, for joining us and bringing us the latest on the U.S. elections.